I'm going to show you how to create assignments in Canvas. To do that, what you're going to do is you're going to open up one of your new courses. And if you notice, you'll see this create a new module, add existing content. If you've already built your course, you can bring it in right here and all that stuff will already be done for you. I have a video on that on the teacher support page on how to bring in existing content. Now, we're going to go over to the assignment link right here. We're not going to spend a lot of time here, but we need to do this to set up your course. When I click on this, most of you are using weighted grades, and so to do that I need to actually create my groups. To do that, I'll go ahead and click on group, and I'll give my groups a different name. So I'm going to create a group called quiz and tests. I'll create another one called work habits. And then finally, at the end of the semester and at the 9-week mark, you're going to need to be able to export your grades. To do that, you're going to have to create an additional group. It's easier just to do that now instead of later. So I'll go ahead and click this, and I'm going to call this grades to sys. I'll go ahead and click on save. The next thing I need to do is I need to actually go up here and assign percentages. So where it says, I click on my gear, assignment groups weight. And what I want to do is I want to weight final grade based on assignment groups. And now I can actually give this my percentages. So I can say, well, my tests and quizzes are worth 70%, my assignments are worth 20%, my work habits are worth 10%, and then finally this extra one, grades to sys, we just want to leave it at 0% because we don't want to give that assignment any weight. I click save, and I am done in the assignment section. My next step is to go over to the module section, and it is grayed out right now because I do not have any modules yet. I'll go ahead and click on it. Now, best practices say that you need to actually create stuff through modules, and we're going to learn about that in our next session, why we need to do that. But right now what I want to do is I actually want to create a module. A module is essentially your units that you're teaching. So I'll go ahead and click on module, and I'll go ahead and click on, or call it Ancient Egypt. And I go ahead and click on Add Module. Now that I have my Ancient Egypt module, I want to start populating this with assignments. To do this, there's a little plus button here. I'll click on that, and if you notice right here it says Add Assignment. I can add other things, and we'll learn about that later, but right now we just want to do assignments, and I want to go ahead and click on a new assignment. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to just call it Government. I click on Add Item, and I have successfully created a new assignment here. Now right now, if you notice, it is just kind of this black color here, and this is off. That means no one can see it yet, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes about how to turn an assignment on. My next step is to actually go into the assignment. I'll click on my Government tab, or my assignment, and now I'm going to go up to Edit. And here are all the different settings here. So first off, this is where I design my lesson here. Now to design a lesson, I may want to give it a title, so I'll say Egyptian Government. And I can use my basic word tools here, and I can go ahead and I can center it. I can go ahead and make it larger. I can go ahead and bold it. Now I have all those basic formatting features right here, so I can use bullets, I can use numbers. A lot of times I like to include all of my content within my lesson there. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give the assignment here, so I'd actually type my stuff or I'd get stuff off of the web. You'll want to make sure that you give credit if you are copying stuff off the web and using it as a resource. Here's some other things you can do. You can add a table. You can add any type of media. So I can add YouTube, I can add my own files, I can put in a link to a different location. If I need to break that link, I can do that. I can embed an image, so if you have an embed code from a website, you can do that. I can do some math equation stuff in here. I can insert YouTube videos. I'm going to go ahead and click on this because a lot of you may use this. And when I click on this, what I can do is I can actually search for something. And I may not even know what I want. Egyptian Government. And when I click on that, I can actually see all these different things. Well, if I want to actually see what the video is, I can actually click on it right now, and I can actually watch it right within Canvas. So if I want to spend the next 5 minutes learning about Egyptian government, I can. After I do that, say I love this video and I want to actually keep it, I can go ahead and click on Embed, and that content is now in my assignment here. Same thing with any of the stuff in here. You can go ahead and format this, so I like to center my stuff there. And now I can go ahead and put the rest of the content, the assignments, any of that information. Now, I can give this points here. So basically, if I want this to be 20 points, I can give it 20 points. Here's where we created our assignment groups. So I can click on here. Well, here's my tests and quizzes. Here are my work habits and my grades to assist. Obviously, we're not going to use this until the 9-week in the semester grade. This is just going to be an assignment. I can choose how I want the assignment to be displayed. I can choose percentage, complete, incomplete, points, letter grade, GPA scale. Most of the time people just use points, or you can do a letter grade if you'd like. And I can also choose to not count this towards the final grade. So say everybody messes up on it, or for some reason I don't want it to be part of my final grade, you can go ahead and click on this and you can have it not count. You have multiple submission types. So if you don't actually want to click the assignment, you can go ahead and just leave it at no submission. You can collect it online. You can collect it by paper, or you can collect it using an external tool. So if you're using something like Turnitin, you can go ahead and use that. If I want my kids to turn this in online, and this is how I usually have kids turn stuff in, what I'll do is I can actually have a text entry, so they just do some text. I can have them send me a website URL. So if the kids make videos and they upload it to their Google Drive, I'll have them just submit the URL link. You can actually have them record something, or you can do a file upload. Most of the time I have my kids do something on Google Drive and then I have them turn it in. So I'll want to go ahead and click on file uploads. One of the nice things about file uploads is you can actually restrict the file type. So if you want a specific file, I have a 3D modeling class, and sometimes I want them just to submit the file. It's an STL file. I can actually restrict it to only accept that type of file. You can also set up groups, so if kids are working together on a project, what's really nice about this is that when you grade that one assignment, the grade will go out to all group members. You can require peer reviews. This sync assist you will not need to use. You'll only use that or actually twice, once in the beginning at the 9-week mark and once at the semester mark. You can have moderated grading, so if you have someone helping you out, they can do it as well. And then finally, you can assign it to groups. So in this case, I'm assigning it to everyone. I can go ahead and give it a due date, so if I want this to be due next Monday. Or I can actually say it's only going to be available from this date to this date. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to pop into one of my other classes here, and this is my tech class, and I have multiple groups that I see, and I don't want them all to see the assignment at one time. Maybe you see one group on Monday and then you'll see the next group on Tuesday. You can actually assign it to each group individually. I assign this to my Tech 6 Group A. I don't want the other groups to see it quite yet, and I have my due date here for them. Now if I want to assign it to my other groups, so say I have a class that shows up the next day, I can go ahead and click on Add, and what I can do is I can choose my next group that I'm going to be seeing. So in this case it's going to be Tech 6 Group B, and in this case I don't want this assignment to be due until Tuesday, and so I can go ahead and choose when I have these things show up. And again, I can use the available from and until. I can also, if I want to, add, and I can assign it to a specific kid. So say I only want one kid to see this, or multiple kids, so maybe it's a modified assignment, I only want 3 or 4 kids to have access to it. I can check on those kids. Once I'm done with that information, I'll go on down and I can either choose save or save and publish. If I save and publish, that means the kids can see it right away. If I just click save, that means that it's not published to the kids yet. I'll click save for right now, and so here's my full assignment, points, and it is a file upload, some basic information. There is a publish button right here, so if you want to turn this on, I can go ahead and click on that, and I've turned it on. That means the kids can see it, or I can click to turn it off. Now if you're done collecting an assignment and you don't want kids to turn something in anymore, and this is great for the end of the semester, you can go ahead and click unpublish. That way kids can't turn things in anymore. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my modules. And in my modules, I want the kids to be able to see this. For the kids to see it, you actually have to turn your module on. Now the kids can see this, and anything inside your module turns on automatically. So if you have 5 or 6 assignments here already, you can uncheck those. But this tells you that the kids can see this, and finally, they can actually see this assignment. Now at any point, if you want to see what the kids see, you can go down to settings. And I use this quite frequently, especially when I'm testing assignments and quizzes. And over here, there's a button that says Student View. I can go ahead and click on that. And so this is exactly what the kids see when they log in. So they can see Ancient Egypt, and they can see the government assignment. They can click on that. And then here's the assignment that they can watch. And of course, I'd have more content there. If they are submitting something, there's their submit button, and we will actually practice that a little bit later. Good luck.